jealousy is one of the strongest emotions.
I like to make my man jealous. I thought that this is how a man should love me. And if it wasn't the way I thought it should be, then I would start being toxic to the guy. Everybody has their own language of love. Right now, women are coming into their power. This is the first time that women are becoming millionaires and making money. Technically, wouldn't need men.
Most girls have zero understanding about what girls actually want.
Imagine the process, how they make that milk. Work with your body. You know what I mean? You can turn straight up and down into more of a, you can create shapes, but don't buy a program just thinking you're gonna get that girl's body. There's also a lot of girls that have BBLs and they look nice in pictures, but in real life it's
Yeah.
not good. Not good.
Body positivity only is there for girls. The biggest percentage-wise, mental health issues, are all the richest people. Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us. I'm your host, Zach Evans. First of all, thanks for all of our listeners. We've been having a lot of good engagement the last couple of weeks and really kind of blowing up. So we got to thank you guys for that. Today, we got a very special guest. Why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself, tell people where you're from, what do you do, and your star sign.
My name is Elena Chirikova. I'm a fitness competitor and a fitness model. I was born in Ukraine and I came over here 16 years ago. I also bartend. I don't know what else. What
Star
else should
sign.
I say? Star sign. I'm a Taurus. Is that the sign?
Yeah, that's a sign. That's a sign.
Cool.
I always get along with Tauruses. They're
What
my
is your
best
sign?
friends. I'm Pisces.
Pisces.
We're the
Why?
best sign, yeah.
Why? Why do you think the best?
I'm pretty sure because we're smart, funny, good looking, attractive, smart, funny, and good looking. Yeah.
All the Pisces.
Yeah. The International Council of Horoscopes actually decreed that, we're the best.
Really?
sign.
Really?
Proven
Pisces?
by science. Many studies, yeah.
That's cool. I'm going to have to believe you on that one.
You do not believe in star signs?
I mean, I'm into astrology, but I feel like it's so you kind of have to dig deeper, like the time when you were born, where you were born, you know what I mean? Because I don't think every Pisces is the same or every Taurus is the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But generally, I guess no, I do believe in it. Yeah.
Yeah, every time I tell girls I'm a Pisces, they're like, "Oh shit!" It's my ex is a Pisces. Y'all are toxic. Blah blah blah. It's very much like that.
Really, I don't think Pisces are toxic. Scorpios.
I used
are
to be
toxic.
Scorpios and Geminis are the worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
Geminis
trust
are
them.
the
Can't
worst,
do
too.
anything with them. Yeah.
But Pisces, you guys are emotional, or
Yeah.
at least compassionate, emotional.
See, I have a lot of emotions, but then what I do is I stuff them deep down in my psyche instead of confronting them.
Do you know what your moon sign and
Leo, and I think Aries is the other one, the other famous one, popular.
the rising? Okay, so
Rising.
there's rising and moon, right?
Yeah.
So sorry, what's your rising?
Leo, I think.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
that's your ego. That's how you show up in the world.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
I identify
Yeah.
as a Leo.
Leo, yeah.
Leo's the coolest sign. It's
So what's your moon? That's emotions.
Aries.
Aries. So that's Earth. That's I guess grounded more. So you're grounded in your emotions. Would you say
I'm pretty
so?
grounded. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty. People get mad at me for that, but it is what it is.
I
What's
guess-
your
so I
What's
guess
your
there's
other
balance.
two? Yeah. What's your other two?
Leo rising.
Okay.
And then, what's the moon? I forgot. Oh, Libra. Libra, air. Yeah, so I'm emotional.
Interesting. Do you find yourself being drawn to relationships with people that are very roller coaster since you're emotional?
Up until now, yeah, but I feel like I'm looking for more of a balance now.
I see.
I'm trying to.
Okay, so let's say last 3 guys you dated. Were they toxic? Were they simps? Were they fuckboys? Were they in between?
No, very masculine, alpha males. So,
Okay.
So I would say more of a narcissist type. So yeah, roller coaster.
Narcissist, sociopath.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
And do you enjoy those relationships?
Well, no, but I realized that I was kind of adding to the toxicity of the relationship too. So I had to realize my bad qualities and how I triggered certain narcissistic traits in men.
Interesting.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't. What do you do to trigger the traits? Trigger the narcissism, add to the fire.
Well, I mean, I guess I like to make my man jealous, or I used to. I realized that there was like it's not healthy.
It's crazy to me. I think jealousy is one of the strongest emotions.
Because you think that when he's jealous, he cares. But it's like, I feel like it's toxic. Like, I feel like healthy relationship, there shouldn't be any jealousy. Like, you should kind of accept the other person the way they are and accept their love. So that's the thing. I realized that I thought that this is how a man should love me. And if it wasn't the way I thought it should be, then I would like start being toxic to the guy. Do you know what I mean? That's what I realized about myself.
I see.
So I'm trying to like kind of be open that everybody loves differently. Everybody has their own language of love,
Yeah.
So like I have to be more accepting towards, like let's say maybe a guy likes to cook. You know what I mean? That's his language of love. So if he makes you breakfast and dinner every day, like that doesn't mean that he's a pushover or whatever. He just his language of love,
It's interesting because I feel like being a man, right? Like back in the day, it's like, okay, you're a man if you like watch football, drink beer, like, go in the backyard and chop wood with your axe. Like that was kind of like what a man is. And now
like
it's
very
2020.
cold.
Yeah, very like emotionless, very stoic. And now it's 2023, right? And some of that stuff's kind of silly, right? Like, are you really less of a man like if you pee sitting down? Are you really less of a man if you like order red wine at the bar?
I've seen so many videos about that.
You know what I mean? But it's like, I think it's almost swung too far. I'm like, okay, if you're a man and you pee sitting down and you get cold and you go to therapy and you like Gossip Girl and you fucking wear sweaters, or whatever. It's like at some point, are you no longer a man? Like at some point, and then you come home from work and you pick him up and you spin him around. Like at what point is like, you're no longer a man? You know what I mean?
I just feel like there's like someone for everybody. Maybe some women are just more masculine and they're looking for more of a feminine and softer man. So do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, let's say I do want like more of an alpha male. I do want my man to kind of like tell me what to do or put me back in my place if needed, whatever, that what turns me on at least.
Yeah.
But maybe for some women, like she wants to be the boss, so I feel like.
Okay,
I feel like there's a lot of
disagree with you.
There's a lot of like masculine women nowadays.
There is.
Yeah.
But I also wonder, do you think most of these women are really naturally masculine, or do you think they're being told by society you should be more
definitely
masculine?
told by society.
Okay.
Yeah, because like right now women are coming into their power. Like this is the first time that women are becoming millionaires and making money. Like technically we wouldn't need men, right?
Yeah.
Like we have vibrators and all that. You know what I mean? Like, no, like literally in every
know,
single area of our lives, like we don't really need a man anymore. Like even to have a child, you can go and get yourself impregnated. I mean, I don't think it's right, but still, you don't need a man. So I feel like society has to realize that there has to be balance, between the roles.
Yeah, I think the problem is Beyonce. Beyonce screwed everything up.
Why?
Because, okay, Beyonce and teenage movies. I'm going to tell you why. So everything is pushed towards girls. You got to be Beyonce. You got to be Cardi B, bad bitch energy. You run shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And some girls, like, I would say probably maybe 10% or 20% of the population are naturally like that. Like, they're like alpha females. But then there's a lot of girls who naturally would be great in just a more like a role where you're a supportive role and you don't want to make the decisions. Like, you don't want that pressure. Like, not everybody wants to be a fucking CEO. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, all that pressure, the responsibility. Let a man do that and I'll be the supportive role. But they're being told, you got to be like Beyonce. And they're like, I want to be a bad bitch. You know what I mean?
100%.
But it's like, you weren't cut out to be the bad bitch. And then on the flip side, what are guys being told? Right? Every teenage movie, the alpha male is like the biggest jerk ever. He pushes the nerds into the lockers.
Yeah.
He pushes the wheelchair kid down the stairs. And then the little nerd with the scooter who rides a scooter to class with a helmet. The girl at the end of the movie always dumps the jock and gets with the nerd guy. So all these guys are like, oh, if I'm just a good little simp, all the girls will like me. So girls end up in these relationships where on paper, everything's good, right? The guy checks all the boxes. He's nice. He buys you flowers. You know, you take him. Your mom loves him. You got to marry this guy. But you're just not fucking attracted to him. And then I see these girls break up with these guys for some nebulous reason. Oh, I outgrew him. Oh, we just grew apart. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, you didn't like him because he's not a man, you know?
I think that usually happens after a girl dates a bunch of narcissists and then she's finally like, okay, I'm going to settle down with a nice guy. But then she's not really attracted to him because, you know, like I know stories like that and then it still doesn't work out because, but I feel like you have to like, I feel like we'll go through like toxic relationships first. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I don't know.
Like you need the toxic relationships to get to the point where you're like, all right, now I'm like
I'm ready for a nice guy.
Yeah.
You know, like, because like I feel like you choose toxic relationships because of your ego, because usually like let's say alpha male or whatever, usually it's guys that are successful in business, you know, good looking, whatever, they have everything, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's why they're gonna be more of a, like, you know, assholes. Mm-hmm. And the nice guys are, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe there's some alpha males that are nice.
I think there is. I think you have to. So my journey, I started off as like the biggest simp, fucking nice guy in the world. My parents were very religious, you know, be polite and nice all the time. And I just got friend zoned like crazy. I fucking had a house in the friend zone. I just lived in the friend zone. And then eventually, like, you just get beaten down so much. And I would see all the fuckboys getting all the girls. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm going to be a fuckboy. So then started being one of the, I worked really hard at being like a really good narcissist sociopath. Like not like one of the amateur ones nowadays that you see, but like a really solid sociopath narcissist.
So you learn how to manipulate girls or how to like work with their, you know,
how to play games.
What do you mean? Obviously, if you're a nice guy, you can't really become a sociopath because you don't have that in you. Like you have a good heart, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but you can.
But maybe you're just more intelligent, or you were able to figure out how those guys get the girls.
Yeah, you figure out. You just model what's actually working.
Yeah,
right?
But I don't think you're like actually, you know, like malicious. I feel like those guys actually really don't care.
Maybe.
You know.
Maybe.
But if you did it just to get girls, it's different. You just like that's more of like a intelligence.
Yeah.
than the actual like
but it's hard because there's a lot of different types of fuckboys. Like this new breed of fuckboys is like
no, there's
like
some ruthless
amateurs.
ones that actually really don't give a fuck about other people's feelings.
Yeah, they're actually legitimately
sociopaths. Yeah. Like
but
believe in their own lies. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of that.
Yeah. You know? Especially in LA.
In big cities, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think it's like just like you were saying, you have to date the toxic guys to figure out, oh shit, this is kind of dumb. Let me go back to like more the middle ground. And I think guys is the same way. Like I had to become a fuckboy for a while so that now I'm kind of more like pulled back and I'm kind of in the middle a little bit. But if I never had the fuckboy phase, then you're just like this nice, sweet guy.
I agree with you.
Know?
You can't, you have to be both. There has to be balance of like dark and light. Do you know what I mean?
Like the dark side of the
force.
Because
otherwise, like let's say, otherwise there's not going to be much attraction, you know, if it's just vanilla all the time. Mm-hmm. You kind of have to be like a little, and I feel like it's a good dynamic when you can kind of like, I don't want to say manipulate each other, but still like you kind of want a little bit of a
little spice.
Something, yeah.
Well, even like the first interaction, like, and I think you seem to like kind of understand this, but most girls have zero understanding about what girls actually want. And I can prove it because girls are always the worst wingman. Like if I have a wingman and it's a girl, they're always like horrible.
Well, I'm kind of like a guy, I swear.
Okay.
My friends are all guys. I'm like the best wingman.
Interesting.
I've traveled with old guys and literally they love traveling with me because that's how girls.
You can set them up.
Yeah, I'm totally cool and girls feel comfortable because they see another pretty girl or whatever. So trust me, my friends get laid. You're welcome.
All right, you gotta come out with us sometime.
No, I swear.
No, but it's funny. So the last time a girl tried to wingman me, we're driving to this Malibu party. She's one of my best friend's girlfriends, right? So I'm giving her a ride. She's in the front seat. I'm telling her all the stories about like my villain era, like my fuckboy days. And she's like laughing because there's like some funny shit. And she's excited. She's like, Zach, tonight I'm going to be your wingman. I'm going to get you so many bitches, right? And I'm like, dear Lord, please don't intervene on getting me bitches. I will be fine. I don't want her like stepping, blah, blah, blah. So we get to the party. I'm talking to this cute girl. I'm like vibing with her. Everything's good. And then my wing woman comes up, right? Dragging along this other girl who, first of all, isn't even cute to me. It's just like not even attractive. And she goes, hey, this is Zach, the guy I was telling you about. And she goes, he's the nicest, sweetest, most caring guy I know. And I just watched the attraction on both of their faces just fucking shrivel up like a raisin. And I'm like, you just made me get rejected by an ugly girl that I didn't even talk to. It was like the worst wing woman experience ever.
She made you seem desperate.
When
a girl tells another girl, oh my God, he's so nice, that means like he really needs a girlfriend.
Yeah, it's like, man, he really can't do anything. But, and this is why I think things happen for a reason. I take whatever the universe gives it to me, and I fucking spin that shit into a positive and use it for my own advantage.
Awesome.
So I use the dark side of the force. So later on at the party, 3 hours later, right? Sitting down with some other cute girl that I was talking to on the couch. And this good looking dude, like male model looks, TikTok hair, fucking dangly ear and everything, sits down next to us, starts talking to us. I can kind of tell he's trying to swoop the girl. I'm a little bit annoyed, but whatever. So then he gets up. He's like, oh, I'm going to grab a drink. I'll be back in a sec. So I look at the girl and I go, yeah, that's Mike. He's the nicest, sweetest, most caring guy. You definitely have to get... And I just watch her attraction just fucking shrink like a raisin. I just take whatever. It's like Jordan in the finals. I just take whatever and use it to my advantage.
That's how life works. I mean, that's how life should work.
I agree. You want to know the best, by the way, wingman strategy if you're a girl? And you're probably not going to like this because most girls but it works and it's like the dark side of the force. Wait till a guy's talking to a girl. Then walk up to him, touch his arm, and be like, oh my God, where were you? I was looking for you. And then look at the girl, look her up and down like this, like judgy, and then give her a dirty look and just ignore her and talk to the guy. That girl will fall in love with the guy every time. That shit actually works like gangbusters.
Because she's going to think, oh my God, who's that?
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Yeah. And then like, oh, who's this girl? Like, why does this girl like not want me talking to you? Why is she giving me dirty looks,
Yeah. Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, it works.
We'll see if my guy friends deserve that.
How is I am curious because okay, you're Leo, so you're already like pretty alpha.
Leo rising. Taurus, yeah.
That's right. And you're very into like fitness, working out. You have muscles, you know what I mean? Do you ever like intimidate guys? Like do you find that's like an issue where guys are intimidated by you?
100%, yeah.
And what happens? What is that like?
Well, I mean, yeah, so that's the issue too. Like, I feel like I do have to, like, submit more to a guy, but I don't know. Like, I'm always focused on my own shit, more than, like, the guy or whatever he wants. Mm-hmm. So I'm realizing that I guess if I do want a relationship to work out, I kind of have to... Like, if I want an alpha male, then obviously we can't both of us be alphas, Mm-hmm. So, and, like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom and, I don't want to work. I want to raise a family. So I'm realizing that I should, like, tone down my masculine side, But that's how I had to survive the whole time that I've been in LA. Like, I had to kind of, put my masculine energy out there, and become a hustler and become, what I mean, everything that I am. But I'm just realizing that, like there have to be like gender roles in the relationship for a relationship to be successful.
I see. Mm-hmm. Scoot your chair in just a little bit, just for the audio. Yeah, you're good.
Sorry.
Oh, good. So, yeah, when you say you had to be masculine, you had to hustle, you seem very successful, big following. You have doing the fitness model thing. You have a brand sponsor, I believe, with a supplement company, is that right?
Well, so I've founded a company, Supreme Balance.
Oh, that's your company.
Yeah. But we're sold out. So right now, obviously in the future I do want like a second batch, maybe more flavors, but I'm focused on competing. Okay. I want to get my pro card with IFBB. I want to compete in the pro division, mm-hmm. and then we'll see how it goes. Nice.
And how did you get into all working out, the business side of things, everything?
Well, so I competed with WBFF for a few years, and I was completely natural, and I got to a pretty high level but like completely naturally. I got to 9% body fat, and I still had my period.
That's really low, especially for a girl. Even for a guy, that's pretty low.
Yeah.
But for a girl, that's insanely low.
So check this out. It was 2018, and I was taking cordyceps mushrooms, reishi mushrooms, tartary extract. Basically, I researched, like, I'm a huge believer into nutrition. And it's so crazy because, like, the more podcasts and the more, like, YouTube I listen about, like, how you can, you know, advance your physique, it's all nutrition. It's pretty much literally all nutrition, you know, and there has to be, like, a combination of amino acids for your muscles to grow. Like, it's crazy. It's like our bodies are like machines. So the funny thing, I formulated it back in 2018, and right now in 2023, if you see, there's other supplement companies that are coming out with mushrooms. I did it back in 2018.
I had no idea mushrooms was a like bodybuilding supplement.
Yeah, so Chinese, like I'm trust me, like I'm a huge believer into nutrition. Like that's what our ancestors did. So like Ukrainians, Kazaki, it's like they were basically like a really huge military force in Ukraine back, like, I don't know, 500 years ago. So they were really strong. And like, if you look at what they ate a lot of pork, they ate a lot of like reddish rutabaga, like a lot of root vegetables, beets, because it's all under the ground, you know, like we had no potatoes. Potatoes were brought from America. So I basically ate fish and root vegetables. I took, you know, reishi mushrooms, whatever, like, and that's how I got that physique back in 2018. But it's crazy that now, 5 years later, companies are just coming out with like all the, you know, mushrooms and research about mushrooms and stuff like that.
So is mushrooms, is it a health thing or is it like a building muscle workout type of thing, or is it both?
It's like endurance, recovery.
I see.
Yeah, like it helps you with a lot of stuff. Mostly endurance and recovery, because your body has to recover for your muscles to grow.
And so mushrooms, are they normal mushrooms, or are they like mushrooms like people take mushrooms for like partying? Is it like those? Are they like those
No,
kind of
I'm talking about like, cordyceps and reishi mushrooms.
Okay.
Specifically.
Got
but
it.
there's like lion's mane. There's so many mushrooms, and they each help. Not the magic mushrooms, like the actual mushrooms.
Yeah.
And then you dry them, you turn them into powder, and yeah.
Yeah, I was curious because some people use the like magic mushrooms, but they microdose and they use it for working to like gives them energy. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's more
that.
like creative or whatever. But I'm talking more about like nutrition, like stuff that actually helps your body repair.
That's interesting.
Helps you like with endurance.
Because yeah, I've researched some into supplements. I've never heard mushrooms, but I've heard a lot of stuff. Vitamin D. I've heard different nutrients, creatine for muscle growth and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's like L-leucine, zinc, selenium, L-carnitine, L-arginine. Like all of these are so important for muscle growth, because it's not just muscle growth. Like you have to make sure that your blood circulation is in order. You know what I mean? Like your connective tissues, like L-leucine is for connective. It's really important. And that's why, like, you know, vegan diet is not good for you, because they actually develop many deficiencies.
You need to talk to my ex.
Yeah.
I was telling her that. I was like, you have no protein in your diet. You eat pasta and vegetables all day, you know?
Well, and plus, like I said, so I had friends that were vegan, let's say like 10 years ago, right? So the funny thing, for 2 years, they're like straight vegan, like not even eggs. Then I come visit them and they start eating eggs. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because you can't sustain, like, especially if you train, if you work, if you party, you can't just live off of protein shakes, plant-based protein shakes. Or beans. How much are you going to eat? Like 300 beans a meal? So then they start eating eggs. And then like 2 years later, they're full on meat, red meat, everything. And I'm like, so why did you guys switch? They're like, yeah, we developed a lot of deficiencies. Like their tongues got blue. They're like, because it's not, imagine like your brain has to, like, I mean, I'm sorry, but like almond milk, all of that shit, it's just to make money. It's literally, they're going to tell you that milk from cows is bad when our ancestors, you know, developed and evolved just drinking cow milk. You know, all you need is literally butter and milk every day and yogurt. Like you don't even have to have red meat every day, but you have to have milk products.
Well, it's crazy to me because I've done marketing a lot in the past. I used to work for an agency. So like all this stuff, I can see the bullshit. I like to see like even like, okay, first it was milk, right? And it was like, got milk, you know, calcium, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, no, milk's bad for you. Almond milk's the good one. And then it was like, no, almond milk's bad for you now. We got to sell more oat milk. And now oat milk was like the good one. And they just keep switching it because they want to sell more milk.
Because it's whatever cheaper for them to make. Like imagine Cow, you have to grow a cow. You have to milk is just regardless is going to be so much more expensive to produce.
I see.
Almond milk, geez, you grow almonds, especially if they're genetically modified like that, and you make that milk, you bang it out, you sell it to these people who are not thinking.
Sheep brains. They have
yeah,
a sheep brain.
yeah. They're like, almond milk, I'm healthy. You know, like, no, you're not. You're far from health.
And then most of the almond milk is just like tons of added sugar. It's like more sugar than like a Coca-Cola.
And like preservatives, like all that stuff. Imagine like the process, how they make that milk. Like we don't know. Like I'd rather take a milk from, you know, like from the source.
Animal.
Yeah, from, I mean, I trust my ancestors. My grandfather, when I look at his photos, he was ripped. You know, and I'm sure he didn't work out. He just did labor, you know, and ate
like
good.
On the farm, like carrying shit around, you know?
Yeah. But I swear, like his shoulders, everything. I'm like, damn, you know.
Yeah.
Just good food.
So what's your staples in your diet right now?
A lot of meat. I eat red meat. I eat fish, chicken. So chicken, fish, red meat every day. Eggs.
What do you do for carbs?
Rice, bagels, oatmeal. Potatoes, all kinds of potatoes.
Okay,
I love potatoes.
So it's like the kind of typical like bodybuilder type of diet.
Yeah. Because you have to have a balanced diet. So fats, like moderate fats, pretty high carbs. My carbs are pretty high. My protein's pretty high.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the intermittent fasting thing?
I don't think it's healthy to do it for as long. Like, okay, maybe if you're a super unhealthy, typical American person that eats super like fast food, then go ahead and starve for 16 hours because you probably need that. No, I mean
you're like you gotta work off that Big Mac.
Exactly. But like for me, I mean, I do believe that you have to have, you know, a certain amount of like time, like 8, 10, 12 hours of not eating, because it's true. Yeah, your body does need to, you know, digest all the food and clean itself out. So I feel like maybe like 10, 12 hours if you can do that, but maybe like skip breakfast, you know, if you really want to try intermittent fasting. But I don't think it's actually good for you because your blood pressure is gonna go down. Like, I mean, I don't think it's good. If you're typically like a healthy person, I don't think it's healthy to do intermittent fasting.
I also think that at the end of the day, in terms of like if you're trying to lose weight or like shred up, it's like it's just calories in, calories out.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like maybe for some people, if they intermittent fast, they just have less time to eat. So then you just end up eating less calories and then you just like shred up because of that. But I don't think it's actually the fasting itself that like creates more fat loss or something like that. You know?
I mean, they say that supposedly like if your body doesn't have anything to eat, it starts eating parasites. But it's not true. You would have to literally diet for like probably 2-3 days and just drink water, you know? And I did hear, like, I had a girlfriend that did a cleanse with just lemon water and ginger for 3 days. And she said that supposedly, yes, she had, like, parasites coming out. But I feel like you literally have to diet for a few days. And it has to be, like, something acidic, you know, like whatever. There has to be, like, balance, alkaline, acidic, whatever, to get the parasites out. But I don't think just intermittent fasting will help. Sorry if I'm talking too much.
No. This is good stuff. What do you think are the biggest kind of misconceptions or things that girls do wrong in the gym, or myths that girls think about the gym? That
oh my god, so powdered greens, it's like it's such a stupid trend. So if you actually care about health and you want to be healthy and take your fiber and greens, girl, go get fresh squeezed green juice. Why would you take powdered greens? It blows my mind. And it's like such, like all these girls think that they're fitness now. You know, it's like, no, that's still not healthy at all. That's literally powdered. Like, you don't know what that is.
Like anything that's like, this looks like it was made in like a scientific laboratory.
But like, why would you take powdered greens when you can take it fresh from the source? Like fresh, all the vitamins are fresh. What vitamins are you going to get in the powder? Like, I get it. Like when you powder mushrooms or any sort of thing that you actually have to powder, you can't like digest it on its own. But yeah, it just blows my mind. So there's a lot of like, I feel like a lot of fitness influencers trying to sell stuff, and because generally people are so unhealthy that even I guess powdered greens sound very healthy to them because they don't eat vegetables at all.
Well, and think of
what I mean?
Like, here's the thing.
But it's still not healthy. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it like blows my mind, you know?
Whenever the marketing pitch is too good, I'm like, it like sets off my bullshit meter where I'm like, oh yeah, you don't have to eat salad. Just like put some greens in a cup. Oh, it tastes good too.
Yeah.
I'm like, if it tastes good and it's easy and you don't have to sacrifice it all, there's probably something wrong with it. Like there's probably something in there that's like, you probably need more than that, you know?
It's just sell. Like same with the booty programs. Like so many girls have just nice bodies. That's what other girls, you don't understand. Some women actually literally have the nicest structures ever. They have nice small waist, big hips, nice glutes. I'm sorry, some women just don't. So it doesn't matter how many programs you buy from the girl that naturally has an hourglass shape. A girl that's straight up and down, never gonna be hourglass. And that's what women don't understand. Like, work with your body. Like, you know what I mean? You can turn straight up and down into more of a, you know, you can create shapes, but don't buy a program just thinking you're gonna get that girl's body.
The other thing
it's a
too,
huge misconception.
Sometimes too, like girls like I dated a girl, well not dated, but went on a couple dates. She had a rocking body in clothes. Like in clothes, it was like, damn, curves and like all this stuff. And then it's like, she took off her clothes and it was like, it went like it was all her shapewear. And then she looked like SpongeBob washing dishes, you know what I mean?
Oh,
and like,
for real.
I know like SpongeBob, so I still hooked up with her, like whatever. But like, it was
Of
like,
course you did.
yeah, I mean, I'm the guy. Like,
She was naked.
there's pussy in my bed. What am I supposed to do? Throw rocks at it? Like, of course. But like, it was just like crazy to me to see like the transformation. You know, it was like a transformer.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for you guys because like even bras or like, you know, those booty pads, I guess now too. Yeah, I mean, or I don't know. Just I've seen. There's also like a lot of girls that have BBLs and they look nice in pictures, but in real life, it's like
Yeah.
not good. Like not good.
I just don't like the where it's like huge ass and then like chicken legs, and it's like where their legs are really skinny, but then they have the huge ass, and like it just doesn't look normal to me.
When it, when it's like too fake and unhealthy.
Yeah, like there's a limit to where it's like, okay, like
some look really nice. Some
do for sure.
But I feel like you have to kind of work out and have a little bit of muscle, and then when they get the BBL, like I've seen some BBLs where like it actually looks nice because they were kind of like already bigger girls, and then they work out and they kind of like shape themselves with BBL, so it looks nice. But I still think you should work out, you know, to get shape.
Well, and the thing is, because I meet a lot of models here, especially like more in like the fashion modeling world, who just don't eat that much and or have really good genetics. But I'm telling you, like the body is different. It's like it's not as firm. It's like I said, it looks good in clothes when you can like have the shapewear fix everything. But then if you take your clothes off, it's just kind of like saggy, and it's not the same as like a girl who works out, you know?
100%. I mean, I like tight bodies. Like I don't like cellulite. I don't like this jiggle, you know? I mean, maybe like there has to be like a firm, nice jiggle. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I do know what you mean. Yeah.
I don't like this like, you know, dimples and shit all over the place. Like I don't think it's healthy. You know, sorry, no body positivity.
No, you know what's funny is like body positivity only is there for girls. Like if a girl's fat, it's like because the fat you're brave.
Yeah,
you're
they want to
so
justify their
like,
bad
you're not
eating habits.
Brave, you know, like let's not say you're brave. Like yeah, I'm not saying like Domra. If there's like a overweight girl in the gym and you're making fun of her, like that's fucked up. It's like yo, she's like fucking working at it. She's trying. Good for her. But like, don't say she's brave for just existing and being fat. Like we need to like, yo, like maybe work on your health. Like let's start. Maybe go to the gym more, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. No, I see a lot of trend when really big girls go to the gym once and that's it. They think it's muscle. It's like, it's not muscle. It's fat. It's still fat.
You still got to work on that. Yeah. But if you're a guy and you're fat, there's no body positively. People are just like, get in the gym, loser.
You just have to have money.
Hey, that's true. That's true. Here's the thing. As a guy, you have to have at least 2 of these. Good looking, rich, funny, or like status. If you have like 2, if you're funny and rich, you can be fat. You know what I mean? If you're good looking and rich, you don't have to be funny. Like you're okay being like the boring guy.
Oh yeah, no, I mean if you're good looking and rich, that's it. Like you don't even have to have a personality. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You can be like blah vanilla, you know.
Does money influence you in terms of the guys you date?
I mean, yeah.
I love how honest you are. I feel like girls bullshit about this all the time.
No, I'm looking for a nice guy. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, he has to be successful because I'm used to a certain lifestyle and I provided a certain lifestyle for myself. you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not going to date a guy just because he has a certain amount of money, because obviously I have a lot of offers like that. But, I mean, I'm not into old guys. So definitely, you know, not going to date somebody older than, you know, 5-6 years than me. But he has to be successful and generous. Because if you're rich but cheap, like what's in it for me, you know? You can have billions of dollars in the bank, but if you're not sharing, I don't care.
Have you ever done the sugar daddy thing?
No.
Interesting.
I just dated guys with like, you know, I dated millionaires. Like every single one of my exes had money.
Gotcha. It's interesting because girls, I think, fall into this trap a lot where I hear girls say, no, I don't care about money. I just want a guy who's ambitious. And I'm like, so one girl told me that, and I meet the guy she's dating. I'm like, first of all, this guy's broke. Like, do you want your pussy to smell like Wendy's? Like, stop dating these losers. She always dates losers.
But she thought that he had money, or what
no?
Was her
But
deal?
she's like, oh, he's ambitious, and he's like, I met him, and he's like, yeah, I'm starting this business. It's like, I can't remember. It's like Bitcoin, but for Uber, but for dogs, and it's an NFT. And
to pretend like he actually is something, but
yeah, it's just like my bullshit meter is just like, like, get the fuck away from this bullshit, you know? I'm like, yo, this guy's gonna be 40 years old flying middle seat on Spirit. Do you want to fly middle seat on Spirit? Stop dating these losers. Like, this guy is never gonna be rich.
But there's, oh my God, I mean, there's a lot of Delulus in LA.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah,
and
like,
guys are very good at like coming off slick and, you know, fake followers, fake everything, blah, blah, blah.
Also, you know what I realized? Like, I have a girlfriend that's very successful, very smart, and she actually kind of, like, her last boyfriend was like that. And I feel like it's because sometimes girls just want to be in a relationship so bad. So they'd rather believe that bullshit that the guy's telling them because they're like, oh, he's got potential. Or like your friend said that, oh, he's ambitious. Because she thinks that, oh, just because he's telling her all these stories about how he's going to create this Bitcoin, Uber, or whatever, in her head, like, oh, someday he'll be rich. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't realize that he's probably never going to be, you know?
Especially, like, okay, I can understand. Let's say you're 18, 19 years old. You're dating a dude who's like 22. It's like, okay, if he's ambitious, he hasn't had time to become successful. But like, if you're dating someone who's like mid-30s and he's not successful yet,
his ambitions,
the chances of him becoming successful, he just doesn't got it. He just doesn't have it. You know what I mean? Like, it's very rare somebody all of a sudden figures it out and turns it around when he's like 38 years old, you know?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's
I feel like resilience also, like, for me, I feel like I'm not looking for like a guy that's set for life. I just want a guy who's like resilient, because shit happens. Like, I've seen people lose money, you know? Like, I just want to make sure that, okay, he has money now, but what if, let's say, he loses everything in 10 years? Like, is he going to be able to get back up and, you know, do you know what I mean?
Well, that's the other trap I think girls
like,
fall
you kind of
into.
have to be with a guy who's resourceful.
Yeah, because
like,
some girls are attracted to the guy who just has mommy and daddy's money, and he's some young kid, and he just has.
It's the worst.
And it's like, what happens if he gets cut off? What happens is his dad business goes under. He's fucked because he has zero experience, zero skill set, zero work ethic, and now you're just dating some like loser guy. You know what I mean? So that's like a trap.
Unless he's like a trust fund baby, where it's like
he's really gonna.
He doesn't really have to work.
But then, like, isn't there something about that that's just kind of like?
Yeah, because you can just run that guy. Like, I wouldn't want a guy who I can just run and tell him what to do.
Yeah,
you know?
like you need somebody who's gonna like.
I'm not gonna respect.
Be a fucking man.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what happened to that. Like, I feel like this whole Gen Z is fucking everything up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, like I want a guy. It's not like I want a guy to tell me what to do, but yeah, I want to know my role in a relationship. I want to know that I'm being taken care of. I'm a woman. You know, I do certain things for him and he does certain things for me. Not like try to one up each other. You know what I mean? Oh, because I'm a bad bitch and he's trying to one up you, and then you're like, it happens a lot. Like, people try to give each other lavish gifts, take each other on trips, like just show off. Like, oh, look how cool I am. Pick me. And then relationships just crumble because it's constant. Like, there's no roles assigned, you know?
It's crazy because I typically don't date American girls. And it's not that I like hate American girls or something. Like, I usually end up dating Latina girls and Asian girls. But it's not because I like choose them. It's just like I don't know. It's just hard to date American girls. It's like very like.
No, they just have more flavor.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. It's just like when I date American girls, I feel like I'm at like this war with like everything.
No, I do
feels
think
like
it's
a power move, and I'm like, I'm not trying to like fucking like put like fucking make you my slave. I'm just like, oh, I like making decisions.
It's
like,
because of the cultures. Because think about it, like Asians and Latins, generally women are more submissive in those cultures. Generally,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So at least they do have, you know, other influences in them. But like American women, they grew up on Mean Girl, Gossip Girl, like where, you know, there's really, yeah, I mean, it's a different culture.
It's a very different culture, yeah. Which I'm like, I don't know. There's part of me that like, because I've thought about, all my business.
Like it's cool to be a feminist in America.
Yeah, that's like the new. But ironically, feminism now isn't like equal rights. It's like fuck men, kind of.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
It's
know.
become just fuck men. Yeah.
I want to be like a traditional feminist where like women are still can be equal to men in a way, like, do whatever we want, but I still want my door to be opened, and you know, I want a guy to, like. I don't want to provide. I don't want to split the bill.
But that's the thing, that's another thing girls get tricked by. Like, okay, I was born very chivalrous, right? My dad's like super old school, like very much like, yeah, hold the door for a girl, you know, walk on the outside of the sidewalk. So if there's a car coming, I can, you know, stop it with one hand and protect her, like that kind of thing.
I mean, for me, by the way, it's a turn off if I'm walking with a guy and he's not walking.
If he's not walking on the inside.
Yeah, then that's like to me, mental note. That's it. Like if you're so like unaware of that, I mean, what if I'm walking with your kid?
Yeah.
Like seriously, and like one wrong turn and that's it. Like we're dead. What are you gonna do?
And to me, it just feels weird. Like if the girl's on the outside,
yeah, like you're
feel weird, like walking on the inside. Like
exactly. I feel like a real man has to naturally want to provide, naturally want to protect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just like as a real woman, like you want to take care of your man. You want to cook for him because you love him. That's like your language of love as the female. Mm-hmm. You want to make sure he's fed. He's like, you know, I don't know. Like you want to dress your man, like, because, you know, generally guys don't have like, you know, you guys don't care about clothes and all that.
Yeah, I don't really care. It's interesting. I don't really care if a girl can cook. I just like, let's go fucking, like, I don't want to go to the grocery store, like,
but when you have kids,
what ingredients, you know?
But let's say like down the road you have kids and like what she's gonna get.
Uber Eats.
No, but what's the kid gonna eat? The kids have to eat healthy. Like you have to build healthy habits.
Yeah, Uber Eats healthy food. You know.
No,
I guess maybe for like breakfast stuff. Like, well, you could get like Sweet Green or like what are the other healthy restaurants?
Come on, like even like you have to teach your kids how to survive. They have to know how to cook at least a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't thought about the kids thing that much, to be honest with you. I'm still like up in the air. If I'm probably gonna have kids someday, but I had a bad experience.
How old are you?
Right now, 32.
Right now. No, how old are you going to be when you're going to have kids?
I'm scared of kids. I'm scared. I had we had a barbecue one time, and there was this big grass hill like next to the barbecue, right? And there was these young couple, our friends, you know, they're like 25 or something. They have these like 3 kids with them. They're like 5 years old, or 2 kids, 5 years old. And these kids, what they're doing is they'd go up to the grass hill, they'd walk up the hill, and then they would go like a hot dog and like roll down the hill like a hot dog. So then they started saying, Daddy, come roll with us. So this dude, he'd walk up to the hill, go like a hot dog and roll down the hill for 3.5 hours. This grown man, this guy's a 401k, he has a job, and he's rolling down a hill like a hot dog. And I remember thinking, I don't know if I want kids anymore. And the look on his face was just like, I'm tired from work. I commute 45 minutes to my job. I hate my boss. All I want to do is come home, have a beer, and watch the game. And now I'm rolling down a fucking hill like a hot dog.
But that's because Americans have really bad parenting skills.
Interesting. I agree with you. But why do you say that?
Well, because, it blows my mind how they let their kids run them. So if a kid wants something, oh, Daddy, roll as a hot dog, you know, roll with me and whatever. Like, I don't think it's right. Like, if you're tired... Again, authority. Like your child should know that he's just a child, you know? And if daddy is tired, then daddy has the right to go home and have a beer and watch TV. Mm-hmm. And the kid can, you know, play in the room and do his thing. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't have to be the way the kid wants, you know, because unfortunately this generation that's growing up, they're very what is it?
Soft.
Not just soft. They're what's the word? Like when they're not considerate. They're not considerate.
Entitled.
Yeah, they're entitled and not considerate towards others at all, and it's because of their parents. Like I see it a lot when in the airport, American women walk with their kids. They let their kids just run around, instead of teaching them manners. Like you have to stay close. I'm gonna hold your hand. Like it's not my fault that your kid's running. What if somebody knocks him down? It's just like it blows my mind. Like you can't let your kids run the show. There has to be discipline. The kids have to be disciplined. Kids have to know respect towards others.
Yeah, I think parents nowadays are so concerned about how do my kids feel? They have to feel happy all the time. If they're crying, like we have to get them to stop crying so they don't feel bad. Oh, little boo-boo, little Gen Z, are you
Whatever
okay?
you want, yeah.
Let's go ride bird scooters and talk about your feelings. Like the fuck? Like man the fuck up, like.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know what's crazy? The biggest percentage-wise, like mental health issues are all the richest countries in the world. America, fucking all these countries. Venezuela, there's no anxiety. You know why? Because when you're 5 years old and your family runs out of water and you have to walk 5 miles in the sweltering heat on your fucking Android phone and pray to God there's water in the well, guess what? When you're 18 and your girlfriend breaks up with you, it's not that big of a deal. You don't get anxiety. You just fucking man up and like move on,
Yeah, but here everybody wants to be important. Wants to feel important. That's why there's they, transgender.
Oh, like they, them?
Yeah, they, them, because they want to be so important. They want to feel special.
What are your pronouns?
I'm just a woman.
See, my pronouns are he, him, but I'm pretty woke, so I prefer to go by my adjectives, which are smart, funny, good-looking, successful, funny, smart, and good-looking. So if you could refer to me by my adjectives, I'd really appreciate that,
And where did I put your name? In the beginning or the end?
Oh, no, we don't need my name. just call me
just
hot, smart, sexy, funny, attractive. Yeah. I'm very woke.
Noted.
I'm very woke. Yeah, do you want to talk about the trans movement, or is this too risque for?
Yeah, sure.
What is your opinion on it? Do you think it's ridiculous?
I mean, they're mentally ill. They're mentally ill people. There's a lot of videos coming out with people that are transitioning, and they're saying that them going through transition actually did more mental damage. Like they thought it would solve their problems, but usually those people had some sort of trauma. Most of the time they had some sort of trauma, and that's why they're not sure who they are. I also do think that by nature, a lot of when we're teenagers, we're kind of more gender fluid, because I actually,
especially girls.
Yeah, like I dated girls when I was a teenager. I didn't date guys until I was 21, but I never thought I was a lesbian. There's no way in my head. I knew I was straight. I just knew that if I fell in love with a woman, I fell in love with a woman. It just, there was no guys that I liked, back when I was growing up.
It's funny because sometimes, some lesbians, they just kiss girls. They do like eat each other out, whatever. And then some lesbians, I'm a little confused because they'll do like strap-ons and like dildos. And I'm like, all right, so you like dick. I think you just don't like guys' personalities.
I think a lot
it
of
seems like cheating to me.
No, because I think a lot of those girls had trauma. They were either raped or something traumatic happened, so they're in denial, But by nature, like, come on. I mean, that's why they use strap-ons, because trust me, you want to feel something inside. You're built that way. There's fascia. There's, like literally, like it's like you getting massage from the inside. Like you almost like need that. Actually, back in the day, that's how they treated psychological problems in women. Swear you can Google that. Like
they just get banged out.
Well, no, doctors actually, that's how they found the G-spot, because you release a lot of energy. So women, when they had anxiety and like nervous breakdowns, usually that's how they treated like nervous problems. So that's how they created dildos. Swear to God, you can look it up. Back in the 1800s. Crazy. Well, not created. They probably existed even back in ancient world. But I'm saying like gynecologists, whatever the word is. Gynecologists. They basically like in 1800s they created dildos because, trust me, you need to have dick. I'm sorry. Like as a female, you need to have penetration. You do need to get fucked. I'm sorry. Like just biologically, like it's a huge release of energy. you know?
So what you're saying is when I'm, talking to a girl at a club, I should say like, yeah, we should definitely sleep together tonight just for your health, not for me. Just, make sure you stay healthy.
I mean...
So actually when I was a fuckboy, I was almost like a healer. I was almost like a philanthropist, like healing all these women.
One for you, one for you. I heal you, my child, and you.
That's
you
hilarious.
blessed everybody in LA.
I do my best, I'm just trying to find all my soulmates out here.
So what the ladies are gonna do now when you're no longer in your fuckboy phase?
I don't know. I guess they're just gonna get sick.
No more blessings.
I'm not gonna be able to heal anybody,
Just the one.
Just the one. I'm just gonna heal one girl. She's gonna be really healthy.
I was gonna say you'd better find like a really toxic one so you can heal her. So
I can really bring her back bring her back from the grave. Yeah.
Yeah. Put all your forces, all your healing forces. No, but seriously, imagine like if there were no dildos and shit. I'm sure a lot less women would be lesbians. Because it's easy to be a lesbian. Like, sure, I mean, if a chick's hot and she takes care of me and she's kind of masculine and she's hot, yeah, I mean, sure, I would date one too, you know? Mm-hmm. But because there are ways, there's toys and shit like that. If there were no toys, just the fingers and mouth wouldn't do it, you know?
Yeah, you need something there.
Yeah.
Interesting. What is your, in terms of like, so you've said you've dated fuckboys in the past, you're over that, now you're not going to date them, right?
No, I'm like, I know, I can see one when so I'm not delusioned anymore. No more delusions.
Okay. You learned your ways.
Yeah.
What is, so your last guy that it ended with, like what happened? Did you end it? Did he end it?
I mean, I self-sabotaged that relationship. I was the bad guy.
Okay. In what way?
I don't know. It was weird. So he had kids, so there was baggage, unfortunately, and I never experienced that before. And I also, he actually really, I mean, I don't know. We were both toxic. I don't know if he was a narcissist, but he courted me so beautiful. Nobody ever courted me as beautiful as he did. So obviously I fell in love.
In what way?
He's a real man. And I don't know, obviously, flowers, beautiful flowers, trips, went to 7 countries in 6 months that we lived together. I always wanted to be a mom, so we kind of went on trips with his kids, so I was like a stepmom for a little bit. So he gave me that fantasy that I've always wanted. He got me when so we met on the train. We both caught COVID. We got hospitalized for 3 weeks.
Crazy.
So that was like a romantic story. And then when I got back to visit him, he made me stay. He made me quit OnlyFans because I was doing OnlyFans back then.
Oh, okay.
He was like, basically, my woman's going to stay at home, just be beautiful. He so he knew I was into fitness. That's when I first started preparing for NPC, my first NPC show. So he redecorated one of his rooms, did mirror walls so I can pose, inversion table, equipment, everything. So he's just focus on your fitness. So no man has ever done that. Usually guys...
He's I'll set you up with that.
Yeah, usually guys, that's the thing. They try to one up and they always try to undermine whatever you're doing because they want to take control. He was the opposite. And I think I just wasn't used to it. But then there was also, I don't think he let his baby mama, go completely, even though she moved on, So I think that kind of bothered me. So I was really mean to him.
What was it like? He would text her all the time, or she would come over to see the kids, or how?
No, she was playing games. She would kind of let's say we go to Italy together, and she's texting him oh yeah, it was so much fun in Italy when we went together.
Right.
So she would stir up those emotions because obviously she's the mother of his children. So a man's always gonna have certain type of feelings towards the mother of his children.
So when you would tell him this and you'd be like, hey, what the fuck? She's playing games with you, blah blah blah. Did he take her side, or was he I know, but she's the mother of my kids?
No, he would always do what I wanted him to do, and he would always kind of try to put her back in her place. Mm-hmm. But it was just toxic, honestly. I feel I was very insecure because I'm oh my God, my dreams actually can come true. What if let's say if I stayed with him, we would have his 2 kids, and then I always wanted 3. So that would be 5. I always wanted 5. Anyway, whatever. That would be my dream come true. I would have everything I ever wanted. And he had money, especially for Russia. You know, that's like hard to be wealthy in Russia. And he had money, and he was young. He was only 6 years older than me. And he had a big dick, and like we fucked 5 times a day. Like I don't even
This
think.
sounds like the perfect guy.
I know.
It was just the ex-wife thing?
No, he would also, okay, so he was really toxic. He would check my phone, like, and then basically, no, he was crazy too.
This sounds like have you 50 Shades of Grey? Have you read the book or seen the movies?
I read the book, but I thought it was lame. I thought it was
Okay.
like a fucking housewife wrote the book, but I know what you're talking about.
Like, it seems like that character that's just like, he really wants control, but he'll do anything for you. Like, he'll like set you up in the house with all the equipment, but then he's like, I also want control.
No, like total. Like that's the thing. I moved back to Russia for him. I was living in St. Petersburg for 6 months, and literally I was like this bird in a golden cage.
I see.
Like we didn't really go anywhere. He almost like hid me from everybody. We just fucked and worked out and I mean and traveled like literally. So I almost feel like maybe if we had more of a normal life, you know. So I don't know. Like I'm trying to figure out. Like I don't know if he did all that to. I don't know. I mean, I know he liked me because of all these things, like even the flowers. I'll give you an example. And no guy has ever done that. He actually would give me flowers and then put the flowers in the water in the bathtub so the flowers last longer. And he would do it like every day or every other day. So like the same bouquet of flowers would actually stay alive for like a week.
Yeah.
So like he cared. Like I'm telling you, like, there's little things. And now when I've dated guys after him since I came back to America. And I'm just like, wow, they can't even make a simple effort. And that guy like fucking went above and beyond. So that's why I don't, and he didn't cheat, but he was crazy. He would like make up shit. Like he would tell me, why did you delete those messages? And I'm like, what messages? He's like, I saw messages in your WhatsApp that you left this guy's hotel room. And I'm like, you're fucking crazy. Like there's no guy, no hotel room. I'm living with you. There was nothing like that in the past. Like what messages? Like you're fucking crazy.
Interesting.
But I think he was like, yeah, I don't know what his deal was. I think, well, he's been through trauma. Like he's been cheated on. His baby mama basically like left him for a guy with a lot of money. So that traumatized him, you know. So where I was going with that. Yeah, anyway, I don't know.
So you ended up breaking up with him or he broke up with you?
Well, we kind of both ended because I had to move back. I didn't have my citizenship. So when you have a green card, you can only stay outside the country for 6 months.
Okay.
So as soon as 6 months was done, I had to go back and he didn't go with me. So yeah.
It kind of just...
And I like blocked him. I was like a bitch. I was so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Why'd you... It's weird because like you describing this, I mean, yeah, there is the controlling stuff, but he just seems like, man,
because I thought he betrayed me. I thought, because I loved him so much, I thought that you should fight for the one you love. And we were even talking like, oh, like maybe he can come to Mexico because it's hard for Russians to get like visas and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the war started. So it's just, yeah. And then I was just a total fucking bitch. Yeah. It's like so funny too. So before I met him, I saw this dream that I'm in my childhood playground and it's a sunny day. I'm looking outside. I'm like, oh my God, it's so pretty. But then I'm looking closer and there's like dirt and like nasty shit, you know? So I thought it was more like about him. You know, when I met him, I'm like, oh, that's because his childhood was fucked up. But then I realized it's my childhood. So I like realized all these things. I basically acted exactly how my mom acted with my dad. That's how I acted with him. And my mom is very dominant. My mom was the provider growing up, and my dad was stay-at-home dad, kind of. So I literally acted exactly like my mom. Like I copied her behavior completely. Like how my mom put my dad down growing up. That's how her personality is. I did exactly the same to him. I would like, it's fucked up, but he would tell me like certain things that hurt him or like certain experiences, and then I would like use that against him. Like it's so fucked up, just to like try to hurt him, you know, because I didn't get the love that I thought I wanted, or
Yeah.
even though now I'm realizing he did love me. I don't know. It's
So let's say this guy somehow tomorrow he gets a U.S. citizenship. He moves to L.A. He somehow gets in contact with you. He's like, look, I'm still in love with you. I want to make it work. I have a citizenship in America.
No, that's not gonna happen.
You wouldn't do it.
That's not gonna happen.
No, but if I'm just saying, if it did, like, would you get back with him or no?
If he could actually tell me that I'm the woman for him and he made his choice, like basically I'm the one forever, ever and ever. He wants to be with me, and let's, you know, I don't want to say if he told me all the things I want to hear, But if he did, then yeah.
Interesting.
Because I haven't met anybody like him. I honestly haven't. Like I've had a guy who was really good in bed. This one guy, oh my God, the best sex I've ever had. Like literally the best.
What made it the best?
Just wow, like crazy, insane, the fucking nice, perfect cock. Just good at everything. Like literally good at
what's the perfect size? What's the perfect size? Like,
I'm
like 8 inches, or is that like too big?
I mean, that's the thing. So it's beautiful for like 1 or 2 times or whatever, but realistically for every day, yeah, it's a little too big.
Yeah. So more like 6.
6.5, I would say. 6.5 is like perfect for every day.
Okay.
That's when you can feel like you can like still, you know.
You can still walk the next day, but.
Yeah, but if you want it rough, you can still do some damage with 6.5. Yeah. 8 or 9, like you kind of have to be like a bigger girl, I feel like, to handle it every day, you know.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because there's not much real estate.
Yeah. It's only so big. You can only handle so much. So what else did he do?
But so that guy who's really good in bed, like literally, oh my God, because he made me like, I don't know. I mean, he's like a famous fuckboy, I guess, in Florida. So like a lot of girls fucked him that I even know. Mm-hmm. So just really good. Like literally he made me come in every way possible. Every way that you can only make a girl come. Like squirt with your fingers, squirt with your cock, squirt, like just literally, I mean, mind blown. Like
so give guys some tips. Like some guys like, man, I want to be like this guy. I want to be this good in bed.
Well, so you shouldn't be selfish because obviously you should care about getting a girl off, like learning her body and what makes her get off, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I guess experience, just fuck a lot of girls.
Gotcha.
That's how, yeah.
Yeah, I've always felt that, and this is going to sound really cheesy, but the best sex comes more from like the connection you have with the person than like, oh, we're like upside down hanging from the ceiling and handcuffed to the thing. Like it's more about like that. Now, oral sex, on the other hand, I think is very like, it's all about form, technique, attention to detail, that kind of thing.
But everybody likes it differently because I personally I don't like sensual blowjobs. I think they're lame.
Sensual blowjobs.
But I had a guy, like the last guy I hooked up with a few months ago. Yeah, he liked it sensual and it doesn't turn me on at all. Mm-hmm. But for him, that was his deal. Like he did not like the, They're
just like hard and rough.
Yeah, but I feel like that's why I like bigger cocks because you can actually like, you do something. Work with them. Yeah, like sensual. I feel like maybe if you have like a small cock, you're like, ooh,
Oh, cute little guy.
Yeah, but no, like you want to like grab it and smack yourself with it and have some fun with it. Come on. Yeah. Same like you guys like to beat pussies up. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, yeah, maybe once in a while you want a little,
No, I agree. Like here's the crazy part. So, I grew up in Wisconsin, right? Wisconsin, very conservative. People.
Sorry, really quick. My job offer was to Wisconsin. I was supposed to come to Wisconsin.
What, Milwaukee or what? Do you know what part?
No, like a small village of 800 people to make ice cream.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So sorry, go ahead.
All good. Very conservative. Nobody really talks about sex. Like it's kind of like taboo, So when I was in high school, I would have like fantasies about, like BDSM stuff, like basic shit, like, oh, like tying a girl up or like pinning a girl down to the bed, something like that. And I thought I was like a fucking weirdo because nobody would talk about it. I was like, am I like undercover like a serial killer and I just don't know and I have to like be careful not to like let any of these like fantasies out because I'm gonna be like a fucking crazy person. And then of course like moving to LA and like growing up, like it's like
when did you move to LA?
Most people have
like what age?
Well, I guess I moved out of Wisconsin like 22 and then LA was probably like 26.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I lived in Nashville for a couple of years.
So you were still a nice guy when you first moved to LA. Were you in your fuckboy?
That's when my transition was kind of happening. I lived in Vegas for 1 year, and that's when I really transitioned into a fuckboy.
Oh, yeah. Vegas is the worst, of course. You probably met like...
But
those girls are ruthless. Like, I feel like girls that live and work in Vegas, they came to make money. So
yeah, they know they're finessing.
They're not looking for nice guys.
They're looking for money and how can... Yeah. It's very much... But it's like, even like in LA, it kind of... There's a lot of similarities, and I think LA is just like... It's like playing the dating video game on hard mode. You know, you play video games, you can do like easy mode,
No, I don't.
medium, hard. Like LA is like hard mode. Like there's sociopaths, there's catfish, there's sugar daddies, there's like all this crazy shit. And it's like some people can't handle it. And they're like, oh, I can't date in LA, blah, blah, blah. And they move back to their hometown. And then if you win the game though, it's like, it's the best game to win because you beat it on hard mode. You know, there's the most beautiful girls out here. They're the most richest guys.
I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful place. Yeah. I mean, it's just hard to find family oriented people because everybody's so shallow.
Yeah, it's very shallow.
And like Jewish, marry Jewish, you know, whatever. Like people kind of stick.
That's the only one, I feel like.
Or like, what's that? The Persians, they kind of stick together too.
Yeah, that is. I don't know. I know Persians that date white girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe date, but they wouldn't marry one.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not marry. I don't know.
I think their moms, they're very like, you know, they're listening to their moms a lot.
Yeah, actually, for marriage, you're probably right. But I know a lot of Persian guys who date.
No,
white
date,
girls,
of course, because white girls are, you know, to them, they're exotic.
Yeah, it's like it's always like blonde, blue eyes.
Of course, yeah, because it's like a polar opposite, so they're.
But you seem like your type. If you like usually Persian guys and like Middle Eastern in general, like are that hyper masculine type of guy.
Yeah, but I'm pretty selfish, so like two selfish people can't really be together.
I see.
They're
like,
almost remember I told you I'm
hyper.
like kind of alpha, like I'm kind of very masculine too, so I'm trying to tone that down.
I see.
You know.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can be with somebody like that because they're very too much into themselves. Like I'm the pretty one. I don't want a guy like I want a guy to cater to me, like, you know, cater to my family and me, and I kind of run the show in our little bubble.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I still listen to him. Like he's the man. He's the provider.
He still makes
I bow
the
down.
decisions,
Yeah. I'll follow him whenever. Like whatever he wants to do, I'm here. I'll bend over backwards, you know, for him. But I just have to know that he's doing everything for us, for the family. Like all the career, the business, the money. Like this is for us, for the kids. Yeah, for me. You know.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's funny? I heard this thing the other day. Girls are really smart. Because for thousands of years of human history, right? The men would go out, risk our lives, fucking hunt the buffalo and like in the heat, the sweltering heat of like Africa and all this stuff. And then the second they got air conditioning in office buildings, now all the women are like, we want equality. We want equality. And it's like, y'all are smart. All those years you didn't want equality. But now that there's air conditioning.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about it. That's true. Yeah,
I was like, that was smart as fuck.
Back then, yeah, you go risk your life.
Yeah. No, I'll be feminine. Don't worry. I'll take care of the kids in our safe little village, you know.
It's did you see those interviews like on Instagram where they ask women and men on the street, just random people, would you die? Like if, you know, you were your husband, like who would you choose if somebody had to die? Literally every single woman said, husband,
yeah,
why do I need to die? And literally so many men were like, me. Because I feel like, I don't know, women are kind of, we're pretty selfish.
Yeah. I mean, that's the crazy thing too, is like, I've heard so many girls say, you know, oh, what do you look for in a guy? Oh, he needs to be this. They have the checklist, right? And then I'm like, okay, cool. So what do you bring to the table?
Yeah, what are you bringing to the table?
And they literally say to me,
pussy.
My presence. That's literally what they say, and that's it. I'm like, so you just show up? That's it? Like, you're not going to be like a kind, caring wife. You're not going to like really work on your body to make sure that you're like attractive. You're not going to work on all these things. You're just going to show up?
Yeah, I know that's the problem. Men are very visual. I mean, I'm grateful. Like, I've bartended, so I've learned how men operate. And yeah, you guys are very visual. And most of the marriages actually... People separate because of sex, believe it or not.
I think sex and money. I think those are
the two. Like literally 90% of the time it's because men marry women, I swear, because they think women won't change. No, it's true. I know it sounds very like cliche, like very, you know, but it's so true. And women marry because they want control. Women love, like, trust me, you think men want control? Actually, women want to control men more than men want to control women.
Interesting.
100%, especially in relationships.
So you think men or women get married to lock down the guy? All right, you're stuck with
100%, yeah, to have control over a guy.
But I also think a lot of men, and not probably the men you date, because you date like pretty like high up there men, but I think in most of the world that a lot of actually men date to lock down sex, in a way.
Yeah, honestly, I've dated guys who had so much sex that
Yeah, and
rehearse
some
well.
guys too,
they wouldn't try to lock a woman. If anything, they don't
no,
want
but
to
I'm saying like a lot of guys, most guys out there have no game, aren't successful, aren't good looking. You probably don't even notice.
I don't even know. Yeah,
right.
I don't
They're
even
just
know
the dude
those guys.
that gives you Chipotle at the cash register, right? like that dude has no options. So when he finally finds a girl who's dating him, he wants to lock her down too, because he's like, oh, I get to have sex finally. You know what I mean?
All the time,
Yeah,
or like once a week.
Yeah. But then even then, like, you know, they get married, and then it's like everybody says once you get married, it's like the sex dries up. I've never been married, so I don't know.
That's what they say.
That's what people say.
Because also, well, so I realized that they don't really, men, unfortunately. Okay, I personally feel like sex is very important in relationships.
I do too.
Like, I'm only gonna marry a guy who, I don't want to say like the best sex, but it has to be really good, like one of the best sex, right? Because I need to want to fuck you for the rest of my life. You know, if that day comes that I don't want to fuck you, we're probably gonna have to break up, because I'm not forcing myself to fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I've like, just from bartending experience, I've realized that men marry women they're not very compatible with sexually, because they think, oh, she's from a good family, oh, she's gonna be a good mother, oh, she's a good girl, you know, she's different. Like, I know so many men like that, and then guess what, literally a year after the marriage, they start cheating.
Yeah.
Because she's
The sex
vanilla.
is
She
boring.
doesn't want to get choked. She doesn't want to suck your dick. She doesn't want to fucking... No, I mean, all this... Yeah, she's a good girl, but she's fucking plain, and she's vanilla. She's boring. She doesn't want to even fucking, like, watch porn or put on a fucking cute lingerie, like or role play. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so you thought she was a good girl, but is she really a good girl? Is she a good girl for you? Not really, you know? And that's why they fucking divorce. Because they don't marry somebody that actually fucking want to marry.
Yeah.
They marry because the society, you know, tells them, oh, you should marry, you know, whatever.
I get scared too. That's another reason that I think it's important to find a girl who works out and isn't just skinny. Because, like, so many people I know, once they get married, they let themselves go. And I'm sorry if this sounds shallow. I don't want to marry a girl, and then she gets fat, and then I don't even understand, like, if you marry a girl and then she gets fat, like, do you just not have sex? Or, like, how do you even, like, get your dick hard?
No,
like,
exactly. And then they go to massage parlors. It starts with massage parlors because it's not cheating.
Yeah, it's just a massage. Yeah,
But then they're men. You know, I'm sorry. How long can you lie to yourself?
Yeah,
You know? And
I need to eat.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah, exactly. You have your needs too. But yeah, no, I agree. Like, I feel like that's another thing that men have to realize. You have to know how to make money and provide for you to have the wife that works out and takes care of yourself. Because I'm sorry, if your wife makes $50K a year, you have 2 kids, you pay $2,000 or even more a month for daycare. I'm sorry, after work, that's another job to take care of the kids.
Yeah.
How is she gonna have time to even take Pilates class? Like, be realistic. Is that $50K a year really actually worth it? Do you know what I mean? Like, so many men, like, it almost like pisses me off how, like, cheap, like, be more of a man. Go fucking figure it out. Go trade stocks. Go do something. Like, do you really want your woman to be fucking fat and ugly and beat up and fucking with dirty pores, you know? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I almost feel like your woman is a reflection of you, you know? If you couldn't provide for your woman, then this is what you're stuck with.
And that's the thing.
That's it.
Guess what? If you want a Lamborghini, there's a lot of maintenance costs. You know what I mean? If you don't, you can get a Toyota.
Absolutely.
You can get a Toyota, and the Toyota, it's cheap. You don't have to spend money on it. It always runs.
For 10 years, drive the
10
same
years,
car.
drive it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But if you want a Lambo, and if you're ambitious, you will want a Lambo, then it's like, you got to put the premium gas in. You got to make sure you take it in for maintenance. You got to get oil changes. You know, you got to, like,
100%.
actually put in the work yourself to deserve the Lambo. You know?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what everybody wants, a hot girl, you know, everybody. But can you actually really handle, you know, dating a hot girl? Or not just hot, you know, everything. Like, if you want intelligent, hot, whatever, it comes with the territory.
And that's why it's crazy when, like, I hear guys complain about, like, oh, girls just want money. I'm like, you have realized there's rich guys with great personalities and there's broke guys with great personalities. If I was a hot girl and I had the choice, of course you're gonna date a rich guy with a great personality. Like, what do you mean? Like, you'd rather date the broke guy? Like, it doesn't make sense, you know? And then guys are, like, mad. Girls want money. Girls like, You're just mad that you don't have money.
Exactly.
And
as a guy,
you know?
don't you want a hot girl? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go date an ugly girl. She won't care about money. Go find the girl at Chipotle that eats all the Chipotle in her spare time. She won't need any money. You can just date her. She doesn't care, you know?
100%.
But everybody's so entitled. They think they deserve,
And then they talk shit on beautiful women that they're gold diggers. No, we're not. We actually, it takes money to look this way. Gym memberships, coaching, clothes, you know, like all the skincare, makeup. It's not cheap. It's not, you know, like it's thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's this new generation. They think they deserve everything for no reason, you know?
Yeah, Instagram
ruined everything.
Because they see people always make their lives better than.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been fun. We're actually past our time. Any shout outs you want to give to Instagram or TikTok or anything like that?
No.
All right, cool. Oh, last question that we always do at the end. We're taking a poll. Let's say you meet a guy, right? He texts you. The bubble's green. He's an Android phone. Is that a plus? Is that a minus? Or is that neutral?
Neutral. I don't care.
Neutral. You don't care about it. You don't think, oh, this might be a scam?
Well, my last ex refused to get an iPhone because, it's basically they have access to
because of
all
the
your
data
information.
thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, but he was wealthy and everything. She just refused to get an iPhone.
Gotcha.
For that reason. So no, I don't care.
Interesting.
A phone is a phone.
We're about 50-50. I think actually the Android side is winning a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really?
yeah. So
as a phone, you like it better?
No, I like iPhone.
You like iPhone?
Yeah. My co-host, he's not here for this episode, but he has an Android. So we always ask the girls, and then we
oh really
rag on each other.
Yeah, no, neutral. It wouldn't be like.
Okay. So you're in the middle. You're in the middle.
Yeah. Totally doesn't matter.
Gotcha. All right. Well, this has been fun. We'll have to do a round 2 sometime.
Cheers.
Take care, everybody.